Everyone, welcome to Staying Healthy During the Cold and Flu Season. With me, I'm Mikaela Cradit. I am a patient advocate and a diet advisor at the Nutritional Healing Center of Ann Arbor. I have worked there for a little bit over 3 years now, and in this class I'm just going to talk about some ways to stay healthy for you and your family during the cold and flu season that feels like it is never ending right about now. So a couple topics that we'll talk about in this video, number one being foods to avoid and reach for to boost your immune system. Number two being tips and activities as it gets colder to do outside with your family or indoors. Supplements to have ready in your cupboard that are stocked for when your cold and flu season hits, as well as some ways to keep the entire family feeling their best. This is something super important for all year round, but especially here in Michigan when it gets super cold. I like to kind of do classes like this so that everybody knows the best ways to stay healthy since there is just so much information out there. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I kind of did some research on when cold and flu season technically starts. So for us here in the United States, cold and flu season is known to start around October and go through May or so, meaning that here in Michigan, that can mean anywhere from September to June, really, depending on how cold it gets and how soon and how long it stays that cold. So flu season here, it kind of feels like it's been nonstop, like I said, for the past couple years. So in this, we'll just learn a couple basic tips and foods that will kind of help us and our families stay healthy just all year round. So these are just 3 basic things to avoid to keep healthy in general. So sugar being number 1, for a lot of reasons, but sugar depletes your immune system by killing cells that help fight infections and fight off bacteria. So when you eat sugar, you're basically depleting everything that fights off everything bad. So you're eating something bad and then you start to fight off something bad, but you can't because your body doesn't have the ability anymore. So just reducing your sugar intake actually boosts your immune system without really having to do too much. Number 2, having poor habits like either smoking or biting your nails or not exercising regularly also can impact your body's ability to fight off germs. So I always recommend, as it gets into the colder months, it's a really good idea to try and curb your smoking habit as easy. I know it's a lot easier said than done, but that's one of the things that really can impact your immune system. Another one, biting your nails. You don't realize like how many things you touch throughout the day, and then you go to bite your nails and it's like you just put more germs in your mouth than anything. So just knocking that out kind of helps a lot too. And then exercising regularly. So for some people this means once a week, and for some people this means every day, but just getting in a daily walk or exercising a little bit at your local gym as it gets colder, it's really, really important for your immune system just to keep active as much as possible, even when it does get chilly. And then number 3, so touching your face and mouth. I already kind of did this when I mentioned biting your nails, but even rubbing your eyes or fixing your hair, that's really coming close to your mouth and face, and you just really don't realize how many germs you are putting near you. So these are all good things to not only do for yourself, but also to remind your family when you're just trying to all stay healthy and stay well, that these are 3 really easy things that you can start to implement to make sure that your body is off to a good start in this cold and flu season. So basically just a recap of kind of what I just said. Getting enough rest though as well is super important. So once again, a lot easier said than done, but getting that basic 7 to 8 hours a night, even longer if possible, will really help your immune system. The more you burn yourself out, the more exhausted you become, the harder it is for your body to work to fight off infection, because at that point they're just working to keep you standing. So getting enough rest is super important. Reiterating to work out as much as possible, taking your daily supplements, and also eating immune boosting foods. So I will go over a couple foods that are immune boosting as well as foods to avoid that can kind of deplete your immune system more than just sugar. But taking your daily supplements is another thing that can really, really help to make sure that you stay healthy during this season. These are just a couple activities that I like to do with my family as the weather starts to cool down. Number 1 being kind of obvious, but bundling up and heading to the nearest sledding hill. It's super fun. As you walk up the hill, you get that exercise, and then you kind of can sleep better at night because you worked out. and it's also a lot more fun than going to your gym. So I like that one a lot. Another one that I saw when I was doing research that a couple of patients have told me about is they once in a while will just do a carpet picnic. They'll head to their living room, they'll let each person pick a snack that they want, and they'll just have a little picnic on their carpet in their living room. And even though they can't go outside, it's still something different. It's not just eating at a dining room table for lunch, it's something different, and you can make it as fun or as simple as you want to. So that one's a really fun one. Another one that I like to do, especially here in Michigan, is going apple or cherry or pumpkin picking. That one can be fun for the whole family, and it's better to go obviously when it's not too cold out, but as you start to enter these fall months, there's so many places around here that you can go to, and it's just really fun for everybody, and you're picking healthy foods too, so it really can't be any better. Another thing that I like to do is have either like a fall or a winter themed scavenger hunt. So it kind of keeps the kids busy, but it can also keep you busy if you're the one making the list and hiding the things. This one can be really fun, whether it's indoors or outdoors. Another one would be going for a walk, and I like to just have sometimes the kids grab like the coolest leaves they can find. So like if I'm with my little cousins or anything, I just like to tell them, okay, who can find the coolest leaves? And I mean, it will keep them entertained for longer than you think, and it's kind of fun for you because you get to breathe in that fresh air too. So it's really good, awesome, all around fun for the whole family. And then also I like to always mention to help a neighbor either shovel or rake their leaves. You don't realize how much it helps people, and you also just worked out, you got your daily workout in, and you helped out a neighbor and you made them really happy. So it's kind of a win-win. And then lastly, baking like a healthy meal for either a loved one or even for yourself as a family. So there are plenty of healthy desserts that you could make. There are plenty of healthy meals and snacks that you could all make together. Getting the whole family involved kind of helps to just kill time, but also spend time together. And this one's probably one of my favorites too. So that's just a couple things to kind of do with your family, stay busy as it gets colder. This is a list here of the best supplements, in my opinion, to have on hand this season. So some of these, if you're a longtime patient, might already be in your cupboard at home. But number one, I'll just go through them kind of quickly here, meaning this one is a Physica supplement. It's called Camu Camu, and it is a vitamin C liposomal powder. So you can buy all of these, just so you know, through our office. But this first one here, it's vitamin C and ascorbic acid put together, which kills viruses. So this one's super important, just not only for this season, but also for everything going on in the world. Monolaurin, this one is going to prevent and also stop viral mutation and growth. So once you kind of already know, like, I definitely have a cold, or I definitely have a virus of some kind, I would take the monolaurin, and that would kind of help me start to either stop it from getting worse or prevent it from happening again. Sinus tone and drainage tone, these are both homeopathic remedies from Energetics, the brand is called. They are liquid remedies, so they're super easy and safe for kids to take. Sinus tone does exactly what it sounds like. It helps with congestion in the sinuses. And then drainage tone also does exactly what it sounds like. It helps to drain out any mucus or excuse me, swollen glands. So anything that's kind of clogged up in your head area, or basically anywhere in the body, but especially when we're talking about this kind of stuff, drainage tone and sinus tone are really good for kids, but also adults, just for this season in general. St. John's wort is super important. This one can come in tablets, it can come in liquid. My favorite one is from MediHerb, but Standard Process also makes one, and this one helps the body to fight viruses as well. It also helps with your mood and like depression and things like that, but overall it's a really good for helping to fight off viruses in the body. Immuplex is a Standard Process supplement that helps to boost your immune system, and it helps to maintain your white blood cell activity. So as long as you have normal levels of white blood cells, that will help to maintain that, so that then they don't get lower when you're trying to fight off a infection or some bacteria or whatever. So Immuplex is super important, and Spanish black radish is another really important one from Standard Process. That one helps to dry up the mucus. So if you're noticing like your nose is just nonstop running, or it's just so wet and disgusting, you just really need a tissue wherever you go, the Spanish black radish is really good for that. Fenbury, on the other hand, is really good if you have some phlegm, like dripping down the back of your throat, like a postnasal drip, or it also helps to like kind of dry up mucus as well, but not as strong as Spanish black radish. So the Fenbury is just going to support the healthy levels of mucus, help level it out, and then help to kind of drain the postnasal drip that you might keep feeling like you keep swallowing. Calcium lactate, this one is really important to help fight viruses, but also for a natural fever reducer. So when you have a high fever, the calcium lactate, if you just take multiple, over and over until you start to notice a reduction in your fever, this one is really important for that, and it's very gentle, but also very, very good for kids, but also just vital to have during this season. Another one, lastly, but definitely not least, vitamin D is super important for your immune system. My favorite is the Systemic Formulas Vitamin D3 liquid. This one tastes really good, but it's also it really helps to boost your immune system, like I said, and to boost your vitamin D levels. So we have several different versions of all of these supplements just based on, what your body does well with, but this would be a great place to start if you're wondering what supplements you could get started with to just kind of boost your immune system, and any of our practitioners at our office can help you find the right dose for your body. So these are just a few foods to avoid and enjoy. So on the avoid list, number one being sugar and nuts and seeds. So these two are, all of them on this avoid list, but these two are super important to avoid if you're trying to either fight off a virus or prevent a virus, as well as processed or artificial foods, corn, Brussels sprouts, and also juices. A lot of people think that, choosing a juice like orange juice or apple juice, it's healthy for them, when in reality there's so much added sugar and artificial sweeteners that even if you were to get like an organic juice, it's probably better to just stick to water or, a hot tea or bone broth if you're looking for something to drink when you're not feeling great. A couple other things on the enjoy list would be things like oranges, which are super high in vitamin C. Obviously I said no orange juice, but that's because of the added sugar. So if you're just eating an orange, that would definitely help to boost your immune system. As well as garlic and ginger are really good herbs that you can try to incorporate into your cooking to boost your immune system. And then potatoes, lettuce, and raw milk cheese are all really antiviral foods. So all of the things on the enjoy list are things that if you're really starting to feel like you're fighting a virus can definitely help to fight it off quicker. And then all of the things on the avoid list are definitely things that if you either are trying to prevent a virus or you just really aren't feeling great, you might notice that you start to feel worse if you eat some of those avoid foods. So they might seem kind of obvious, but some of the most common sites to catch or touch germs. Number one, door handles. Number two, key cards. Number three, books. Number four, keyboards. And then number five, door frames. So basically, you don't realize how many times you touch these per day, but it is very important nowadays to kind of either use hand sanitizer or wash your hands thoroughly after touching all of these things. I also, in the next slide, will have a DIY spray for surfaces that is all natural that you can use on surfaces either in your home or at your workplace or on any of these things that is safe, but also really good at cleaning off any germs. So we'll go ahead and look at that next. What I like to do is just 1 cup of distilled water and 1 cup of vinegar. I pour it all into a glass bottle, and then I just add some of my favorite essential oils. So my favorite ones right now are like a lemon and then a tea tree, but you could really do any smells or mixtures that you like for your home. I just add 20 drops or so of each, and I put it in a huge glass bottle and I shake it up. You can spray it on, wood, you can spray it on any surfaces, the fridge, the cupboards, anything. Door handles, like we mentioned in the last slide, you can bring it to work. It smells good, it's all natural. You're not gonna have those harmful chemicals that are in a lot of sprays nowadays. You're just gonna have pure essential oils and water and vinegar, and it's gonna be cleaner than you would have ever expected to. So this one's really good, but there's so many different variations to it too that you can pretty much make a lot of different natural sprays if you just go ahead and look one up. Youngliving.com they have a lot of really good recipes for stuff like this too. So that is the end of my lecture for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed it and you got some tips on how to boost your immune system and your family's immune system. If you are interested in contacting our office to become a patient, we would just love to have you. Our phone number is here listed at the top, as well as 3 emails that you could contact to become a patient, as well as our website here at the bottom. So these are some of my sources that I used, but as always, I definitely learned the most just from being at the office and working so closely with all of our practitioners. That's where I usually learn most of my information, but I appreciate everyone tuning in, and go ahead and let me know below what you'd like our next class to be on. And if you have any questions, contact our office. I hope you guys all have a great start to your winter and a great end to your fall, and that you all stay so healthy and your family does so great as well. Have a great night, everybody.